Hey, Phil.
There's this girl out there, Skylar, amazing angler. She's looking for some help to catch the Admiral. You should track her down when you got the chance.
Skylar, is that the crazy bitch with a crossbow? Or knife rifle? Why the fuck am I on the island? I was over here. Whatever. I wanna go there. Need a boat. Do. This is a boathouse. Should have a boat inside. Fuck. Really? This works. Where do we go? Heck yeah. Oh, wait a second. Sneaky beaky lack. Dead.
I can't take it anymore.
That can't be good.
I can't die. Please, someone help me.
Oh, come on.
Something
Seriously,
ain't right.
dog?
Go check it out.
Yeah, I see you.
No.
Good shot. Hold still, jackass. We're not in a conflict anymore. No one's fucking here. Come on, talk to me.
You head up near Mabel's. Be careful.
You look like you've seen some shit.
Damn cougar will go after anything.
Wait, cougar is in the lady
When
that,
this is finished,
or the
drinks are on me.
animal. Let me just retrieve my arrows. Oh.
My whole life just played before my eyes. I give it 2 stars.
You give your life 2 stars? It's kind of depressing. My life flashed before my eyes and I was bored. So mad. I watched the I love watching Outside Xbox and Outside Extra, and they did a video over what they thought about Far Cry 5. They didn't necessarily say it was a bad game. They like diminished it against Far Cry 3, but like I've played Far Cry 3. I've played Far Cry 4. Don't get me wrong, Far Cry 3 was like the Far Cry that got everyone into Far Cry, and I think that like there's a common misconception that it was better than it was. Yeah, it had a crafting system which was fucking badass and some other shit that what I thought there were fucking markers up here. Anyway, and some other systems that were like just perfect for the fucking game. God damn it. Fuck, I don't want to risk killing the hostage. But like, yeah, it felt different and there was like a spiritual element to it. Which 4 did, and then this one took away. And instead of spiritual element, it's more like fucking cultist, religion-y, fucking drugs. But I mean, there were like drug trips in the other games, but they were like, yeah, it felt different. But like this game is interesting on its own. It's like there's so much shit to do that it's almost overbearing. But like you just walking to an objective creates your own adventure, which they did say about that.
I saw
But
the cult threatening the other workers at the packing plant. I was so lucky
I
to
don't
get
know.
out when I did. I don't know what happened to the
I
others.
think out of all the Far Cry's, I've had the most fun with this one, and I'm not even like doing my own story. I've just been playing with my friends. Like that alone has sold me. The ability to play with your buddies, and I mean, yeah, it's been in there since like Far Cry 3, I think, had it, or it might have started in Far Cry 4. I can't remember. No, Far Cry 2 didn't have it, but I don't know. It's a really good game, and I recommend people getting it. And if anyone dogs on it, like, oh, it's not as good as Far Cry 3 or 4, who fucking cares? Far Cry 4, to me personally, wasn't all that great. Far Cry 3 was really good, but it was like lackluster after you beat Voss, and Voss's boss fight was fucking lackluster as well. Don't get me wrong, I've already done one of the boss fights in this game, and it was the dogfight boss fight. And if you're a partner, for some reason it gives you the turret to help shoot him down, which is the first time when you're in a fucking plane with your buddy that it doesn't, you actually get to do something. But like, my use was minimal. I couldn't even barely hit the motherfucker. And then we died. This game is like so delightfully broken because we crashed into him and killed him, blew up his plane, and it counted it because like whenever you get down in this game, you just go down, and it like lets you have the option for your partner to pick you up, but so it doesn't count it as death in that moment. And I think it's to stop it from like near misses with missions, because I know like sometimes people will beat missions by the grit of their teeth, and I think that's somewhat to help, or it's just lazy developing. You never know. It's Ubisoft. But like, we thought it was funny as shit. Like, we weren't even mad. We were just like, okay, fuck it, that is awesome. And I'm doing 2 stream groups of videos of this game with my buddies. One with Logan, my pal Farron, and then one with, you're a bitch, and one with my buddy Juicy. And like, yeah, we kind of did the same stuff because they were both starting out. I mean, I got further with Logan. Me and Juicy kind of dicked off a bit more, but other than that, it felt like a completely different experience because of the way both my buddies play. So, like, this game just feels amazing. Like, the randomness, like that shit that just happened. You're not in a conflict, and you're running towards the puma. Not a good
I
idea.
heard there's some guy out by the lookout tower asking people if they got what it takes to be a real American hero. I sure as shit don't. But maybe you do.
Stay safe, deputy.
But I'm also going to do like solo streams where I just kind of go off on my own deal because I feel like I play more serious when I play solo. Because when I'm with my friends, we just dick around and do the dumbest of shit. Find the stash. So there's a stash over here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I have to take a restroom break for a few seconds. For a few minutes. normally don't take bathroom breaks during streams, but nature called. But no, I've started up streaming. I started up streaming a few months ago, and did it say that the cache was over here? I started up streaming a few months ago, and I got really into it, and now I love it. But I'm trying to figure out, because I don't want my old streams to go away. I want people to be able to watch from the beginning. And I try to keep my streams around an hour at least, which is probably what I'm going to run this one at, because I'm probably going to go to the office at my school and talk to my boss and stuff. But like, I wasn't very confident in solo streams, not really looking forward to doing them, because me and my friends, you know how people are when they get with their buddies. They're like a completely different person. They're hilarious without trying. The comments, the things we say together. Like, friends are funny. Friends are what make life meaningful. And, you know, I've got like 2-3 groups of friends. Some of my friends I don't even always get along with all the time, and that's understandable. That shit happens. I actually have a lot of friends who have very different viewpoints, which is why a lot of them don't like each other. Like, I'll have one friend group that plays with another friend group if I'm lucky. Like, one friend out of that group will play with the other ones, but not always so lucky. And I tried solo streaming, and I got worried that I wasn't doing anything interesting, so I figured, hey, we'll do chats while I play. Because I got the idea, and I got the idea from Smitty, who is like one of my favorite YouTubers. I mean, he's up there. He's definitely up there. I used to get big into like Vanoss and stuff, but I just, over the years, I think I haven't liked his channel as much, and I've actually grown more fond of his like friend group that he was helping set up in the beginning, which now I think personally they're better at providing content than he is. He did a series on YouTube Red, and he's played more with his buddies, but like his buddies are disbanding. They don't always play with him anymore, and like I feel like I originally watched him because I liked what his friends said, but I never really went for his friends' channels. But now that I'm more into the friends' channels, I realized that like what I was interested in the videos wasn't him, which he's super funny, but like it wasn't just him, it was all of his friends. And I think that's what really got me into streaming, was how him and his friend group got. And yeah, I just got super into it. So my friends kind of talked me into maybe doing some Twitch, and now I'm like super big into it. I've done probably 20 plus vids. I'm trying to figure out how to do the whole YouTube thing. I'm all new. I'm still new to this, and like I was raised by like fucking 80-year-olds, and my dad and mom, they weren't always around, so I'm kind of old-fashioned. So like a lot of stuff that people of my generation take like super well and know how to do, I'm completely clueless. Like social media, dating on like social media sites and shit, and like meeting over the internet, that's strange to me. It's almost like unheard of to me. I come from like Oklahoma, and I was raised by a pretty laid back, old fashioned family. They weren't like mean or anything. Their viewpoints are a little dated, I will admit. Some of them are. I don't share their viewpoints, but like all this stuff's pretty hard for me, so I'm still trying to figure out how to get my videos to transfer to YouTube, because apparently they're too long. And stuff, so I don't know. It's just one of them things. And once I get all this stuff really figured out, I'll be able to put out more content, make it more entertaining, but I'm just starting off now, so. I mean, I'm going to try to do a few more solos. I might even try some Fallout 4, but I told my brother that since he's big into Fallout 4, because we system share and I give him the game, but if I do Fallout 4, I might do like co-stream, not actual co-stream, but like me and him talking to each other as we're playing, kind of getting a feel for each other's adventures. Just thought that'd be interesting, but I'm getting warmer to the idea of co-stream and, streaming and solo streaming, and I think I'll give it a shot, see what the response is. So far, I've only gotten like 100+ viewers, and I've got about 6 people who like constantly watch me, but they don't always watch every video. I appreciate them that do it. But a lot of them are my friends currently too, so like that's not complete total strangers. So it's just different. Like, I'm still starting off. I don't know how to do this stuff, self-promotion and stuff. All that escapes me at the moment. And I'm a kid going to college, so I'm a little busy, but on my spare time, I will play games late at night, and I'll go to bed about 1 in the morning each night and try to do a few streams. I'm big into Siege right now because my buddies play it, and I'm big into Far Cry 5 because my buddies got it. And, yeah, we'll see where the journey takes us. I hope all this stuff really works out. I've always been super interested in doing it. I was just always too scared of it. It seemed too alien to me. Like, I don't know. When something seems so different to you, sometimes you're afraid to approach it because you don't know how to handle it. What should I get? Approach a vehicle's hood and hold R to make it explode on the next collision. That is creative. Damaged vehicles works best with armor-piercing ammo. Do more damage to vehicles. Throwback. I kind of dive out of the way most of the time. Oh, mastery. Close combat mastery. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do unlocks chain melee throw and sidearm takedowns. Takedown range increases. What the hell is it? This one. I'll do this one for now. A lot of the reason I'm playing with my friends on their stories and I'm not like really big into the story on my own is because I'm trying to get myself set up to where I have all the skill trees so you can really see how it plays out and it's more interesting. I know that's not everyone's way of doing it, but like I've played like all the Fallouts back to Fallout. Jesus, I'm a big fan of Fallout though, but Fallouts and Far Cry's, so I'm like big into open worlds. But like every time I get near the end of the game, I haven't unlocked all the abilities. And that makes me mad. And in Far Cry 4, I got really pissed because,
I bet you're looking for your team.
what the? That was different. I think you were supposed to be baptizing, but you were drowning. But like,
Whatever they plan to do with it, it ain't good.
I'm big on Far Cry and all that stuff, and I've played Far Cry all the way back to Far Cry 2, and I've played Blood Dragon. You know, super into them. So the thing that always pissed me off whenever I played them, if you ever have a game series and you want to do something right perfectly, you just get so passionate about the series. You're like, I want this. I want to do it this way. Like Kingdom Hearts, for example. Oh man, the settings you could have for your characters and stuff.
Shame we're shooting it all to shit.
And like the combos you can get set up, like it's so crazy. So I go back to that game multiple times and would play it and just grind for hours. I'm big into RPGs as well, and RPGs and all that stuff. So like it really got to me. And Kingdom Hearts was actually like one of the first game series I played, and I have a bunch of buddies who are still like super into that, so we all kind of share a common interest. So there's at least a few game series that if I play like the new version of it when it comes out, I might do the same thing where I just kind of dick around and try to have some fun, but I want to like set myself up as this badass who has all these abilities, because it makes so many things possible, like your array of abilities, the way you can handle situations. It's really cool. And oh, you mother randomness. Come here, you son of a bitch. Why won't you die? What in the fist beef fuck a kiss? Well, that's kind of dumb. But, no. So I have some games where I have like really weird playstyles because I'm used to the old ones, and like I have to admit, yeah, fuck you. I was disappointed in Far Cry 4, or not Far Cry 4. Well, yeah, I kind of was disappointed in the way Far Cry 4 handled, and I was disappointed in Fallout 4 because the skill tree, I don't know if it was any others because I never like completely maxed out my levels, and that was something that bothered me. So when Fallout 4 came around, I was really big into the skill tree, and I was like, I want to get all the abilities, and I played through, and leveling got super hard in the end. And then I didn't realize, but you stop getting like points towards your customization, so you can only have a certain amount. And I was like, that is bullshit. For a game that gives you all this variety, why would it limit you? Like, I think this one you can get every single one of those abilities, which is great. You just have to earn the skill points, and I'll put in the time and effort to do that. But I don't know. I'm big into games like this because they all feel very similar. And currently I don't have a whole lot of viewers. I have a minimal amount. So once I start getting a basis, I think I'll figure out how to go from there. Because then I can figure out what the audience would like more. But currently, I'm just kind of having my own thing, playing with my friends.
He's also crazy. He probably needs someone with a brain to help him.
And yeah. I mean, if anyone ever like gets interested in this channel, feel free to like send me. I think the messages, you can send like a direct message, or you can send like a private message. It's called a whisper on Twitch. I'm not super well versed in this stuff. To be honest, I had to have one of my friends help me set up my Twitch, which his name is Juicy Cookie, and you should definitely watch his streams. To be fair, though, he doesn't stream that much, and he's a busy man, so it's understandable. But he's a good buddy of mine, and you've probably seen him in at least 3 of my streams. He kind of has this pattern of where, like, during gameplays with him, he'll, like, just disappear and then just, like, be gone for the rest of the day. It's just kind of how he is. He gets busy, and he works a lot, so sometimes he'll, like, disappear for a week at a time. God damn. The one thing I don't like about this game is probably what you just saw there. There's the VIPs. They have a bit more health, but there's also heavies in this game, and the heavies have armor, but the VIPs do not. So sometimes when it doesn't mark them, you don't know you're shooting at a VIP, so they can totally screw stuff over. If you have a stealth shot, I think it's still like all the Far Cries where like stealth shots do like twice as much damage, so you're fine. But in this, the VIPs can really fuck you over and surprise you because you never know where they are. They're random. I don't think this is supposed to haul, but yeah, so stuff's a little different, and it's one of those things that can catch you off guard. In my solos, I haven't really died much, so that's probably actually the first or second time I've died in my solo. Great, I have to do this again. And shotguns. Oh my god, shotguns in this game. I did a stream with my buddy, it was either Juicy or Logan, and he had a shotgun, so I got curious and decided, hey, I'm gonna start using them. God, those things are just too much. They're fun and they're crazy, but this is the only time I wish I had one, just to fight these assholes, because they're dicks. I feel like shotguns should only be used for like VIPs and like animals, because armored guys, otherwise they're pretty useless, because the armored guys, yeah, it's just, it feels like the pea shooter, so if you want to kill the armored guys, you gotta go for headshots, which I don't think the shotguns appreciate. And then you also have to preferably use an explosive or something. And what I loved about the other Far Cry games, because I could have sworn in 3 you could make explosive tipped arrows, but in this one it won't let you. I think you can get buddies in this and stuff, and I don't currently have any, which I guess I'll select him.
Damn beautiful country.
Be there soon.
Well, there he is.
Oh yeah.
I haven't picked up Boomer yet, I guess. I probably should do that, but I'm not. Like I said, I don't want to push the story mode, because once you beat the story mode in any open world game, it just kind of feels dead. And like some of them will bring you back, but some of them will not. And I had that issue. I pretty much fully explored Far Cry 4. Yeah, at least almost all the way. And then what had happened was I beat the story mode, and I just wasn't happy. Far Cry 4 had lazy endings, because like no matter what you did, the ending felt like you put a bad guy in power. So that was something that really pissed me off. And I think I had like a few side quests left, and I just didn't want to mess with them. How you do this? Holy shit, teammates are awesome. I guess I haven't appreciated them well enough lately. But yeah, same with Fallout 4. After I beat the story mode to that, I just fell out of it. And then Far Cry 3 had the big old middle finger to you, so once you beat the story mode, the game was like, yeah, no free roam unless you get the DLC or a later patch or whatever. I can't remember. I know that they fixed it later with a DLC or something, and it like pissed a lot of people off. And I think they learned from their mistakes with 4, because after 4, you can still free roam. And the DLCs in 4 are very interesting, but Fallout 4 is kind of lackluster compared to 3.
The actions at the church were the result of one rogue deputy who acted maliciously. This deputy ignored direct orders and acted independently. They will be found and they will be dealt with accordingly. Please understand that there is no threat to Eden's Gate or the family. I understand now your glorious purpose. We must all walk the path.
What is it, on repeat? What the hell am I leaning on? That's an interesting aspect in this game. I'm pretty sure each of the guys have like a kidnapped member of your unit. At least 2 of them do, and it kind of plays into it, and it's really interesting. I know when I was helping Juicy and Logan, we were messing around with. Me and Juicy were mostly fighting that chick. She kept appearing in hallucinations to me and Logan because we kept crossing into her area. Smart AI, I tell you what, smart AI. But
I need you.
we fought his brother, Mr. Seed's brother, or whatever the fuck his name is. That is fucked up. And he had the girl, and I got really pissed off because like there's a stabbing scene where she just like goes to stab you, and it takes her a ridiculously long amount of time for her to realize, oh, it's you, the deputy. And it's like, what the fuck, lady? She tried to kill you for like 5 minutes before realizing, oh, you're my friend. And I ranted on about that. The guns and the feeling of this game are super funny. Shut up. Because they're all like, I feel like this game is kind of like a gag against the USA. Not like, oh, screw the USA. It's more like, America, fuck yeah. You ever seen that promotional, like, funny, I think it's a video. But, there's a video that does that, so I titled my first solo stream of this when I'm going through the intro, which took me a ridiculous amount of time because it glitched out like twice when he hit the ramp. Then 2 times I died just because I just wasn't getting the feel for the aiming, and I've tweaked it now. It feels better. So like I feel like it really plays on that American aspect. So there's like outfits of like American flags, guns that are got flags and stuff on them, and all this funny stuff.
Enemy found!
One thing I'm not sure if I like yet or not is whenever you're driving and you like go to LB to shoot, it just completely auto locks on. And that's something I'm not a big fan of. It makes you feel good, I think, but like it's different.
Move it! Get my back! Goodbye, you peggy fuck!
I ran into some junkie out by the rundown saloon. He tried.
Whoa now! I'm dry! Help me! Fuck!
What the fuck are you?
Oh God!
Rock.
Move it! Watch my back! I'm up! Watch my back! Peggy spotted! You martyr, man.
I don't think there's any left. Let's talk.
I ran into some junkie out by the rundown saloon.
This game really
Tried to
plays on
sell
the
me some
American
drugs
aspect,
that
but
he
it also
promised would help fight the cult.
plays on the
Already
fact that
enough
like
shit in the air for me.
people could warp religion, and that's one of those things. Like, I'm a guy who likes Harry Potter and like fictional things. I just love them. They're interesting to me.
Let's go.
And yeah, sometimes those are looked down upon as like satanistic by some like hardcore religious people. They're really not. But I mean, it is your own opinion, you're entitled. And you know, I've seen some extremities of religion. So like seeing it at what it could, like, not saying this could ever happen, but like, for instance, in a previous stream I stated the crazy dude who pretended he was the reincarnated version of Jesus and would like kick people in the teeth and like beat them up to pretend he was healing them. That was like an extremity. So like, I feel like extremities of religion can play on like the worst of fears, because a lot of people love religion, and then seeing something so good be used for so much evil is just like unheard of. And just crazy. Not a lot of people would take well to it. So I feel like eventually, once more people find out about this game and it's about killing religious nut jobs, like, it took it too far. Not saying that religion's a nut jobby thing to believe in. I feel like eventually this game will get noticed, because like, fuck, Fortnite's getting noticed, and people are like, are your kids addicted and shit like that, and they're like, it's super addicting, and that makes me mad, because like, it's not addictive. It's not. Can games be addicted? Yes they can, but like, it's only to someone who has an addictive personality. So like, And if you have an addictive personality, you should play games accordingly. Like, don't get me wrong, my family's no stranger to addiction. And all that stuff. I've never been big on it, but I will admit there were times where I've considered myself maybe slightly addicted to games. But I came to a realization at one point where, like, I wasn't really addicted to games. I just loved the sense that, like, sometimes reality just sucks. The bad things that people can do, the way the world just feels wrong. And video games aren't normally an outlet for addiction. They're normally an outlet for people to escape. And I mean, it doesn't let them escape it forever, but it just provides that sense of just calm and security that a lot of people are missing. And I really think that's what brings people, and like, you can meet random people that will be like your best friends and you've never met them in real life. Like, for instance, Juicy, my friend that I'm system shared with, that I tell everyone he's like one of my top best friends. I've never actually met him in person, but we've had very, like, interesting talks. We've grown close. And my friend Logan, I've never technically met him or Slade in person, but they're close to a buddy of mine named Ryan from my old town, and Ryan's literally like my best friend. And I mean, technically there's a connection there that I can see them in real life. God damn it, fucking kitty. That I could see them in real life, but like the fact that I can make that leap and meet them without having to go out and like meet them in person, like not like, no, I will meet them in person eventually, that's a guarantee, but like, it's amazing how many people you can meet with this stuff, and just how close you can get to people who you probably wouldn't meet normally, and that's almost beautiful in a way.
I'm not searching anymore. I'm here to share his word. Come see the world beyond the maze.
And I think that's an aspect people don't really pay a whole lot of attention to whenever they describe video games. They're so quick to demonize it.
Okay, let's go.
But like, I study social work and psychology because I want to be a social worker that kind of helps like troubled families, so that way they can better themselves and make sure everything works out for them in the end. Not that it always will, but I have the strong urge to help people. And video games can be used as a coping mechanism to help you through very hard times. And I will admit, at one point in my life, I used video games to cope with some stuff. When stuff got really hard, I got more into games. I was very close to my older relatives, like my grandparents and stuff. Like, a lot of people say they're like a daddy's girl or a mommy's boy, but like, I wasn't any of those. I was I pretty much like imprinted on my grandparents at a young age. I love my grandparents to death, but it wasn't like just on a certain group. It was like on all my grandparents and great grandparents, and they were like my idols and the people I looked up to. So a lot of my friends say I'm like a 90-year-old in a 20-year-old's body, and that's funny to me because I kind of agree. And that's not bad. I believe that people should work hard for what they want and stuff like that. So that's one of the beliefs I get from them, and that's a belief people in the current generation can have as well. It's just, I feel like a lot of people have gotten a dependence on like the easy way of things and stuff, and it's kind of frustrating. So sometimes I don't get along with a lot of people from my generation, which is fine. I was never popular when I was in high school. Never really wanted to be. A lot of people found me interesting in a sense that I was different, the way I am, my viewpoints, sometimes the way I talk. Like when I get super irritated, or sometimes when I get really mellow, I can slip back into like a really strong Okie accent. Pretty sure I did it the other day in one of my streams, but I know I did it the other day, and my friends called me out on it because I asked them, like, did I just? But it's just one of those things. I wasn't popular. I was interesting at a point in time, so people took notice. But I hung out with like the outcasts, the kids that had troubled pasts, split families. I come from a split family, and like the fact that you can unite with people in video games and in real life, and sometimes the social outcasts connect through video games as well, and that's just like their thing. Like some people connect through like sports. I've never been super big on sports. Kind of forced to do them as a kid, and didn't really take to them. Like I wasn't. I don't know how to word it. I was pretty forced to do it. Like it was either that or that. Like I had to do one sport at least. But at one point I took an interest in a lot of sports, but it was too. I had one of those families on my mom's side that was just super into all that stuff. And like the thing about sports is they can be a bad thing. Like some people can push their kids and stuff too far, and like people can get hurt and have like lasting stuff. That doesn't mean I don't like some sports. Like I'm super big on baseball. I just loved watching that with my dad. It was like our thing on weekends and stuff like that. I'm sometimes into golf. Football I never got into because I kind of like put football into a stereotype. I had a lot of football friends, but they were like the different football friends. They were like the ones that weren't like accepted as the rest of them. They were like the outcast football players. Like I said, just a group of outcasts. Me and my friends sang the song Friends in Low Places as our theme song. And it was just kind of like a gag. And we stuck with it, which was fun. But like, I was used to like the football players thinking they were better than everyone else mentality. So at one point I just kind of turned against the sport entirely, which is probably wrong. I'll admit to it. But I also didn't really find that sport all that interesting. So just never got into that stuff. And I think a lot of the reason I don't like sports and I really took up video games is just the calm relaxation. There's no aggression, there's no people getting like super into it to where it's like obsessive and like they don't know anything else or they can't think of anything else. Where like all they live, breathe is football. I don't agree with that. And some people are so confident in their own abilities, which some people deserve to be. Some people are really good at the sport.
Get my back.
But not everyone's cut out to be like that beastly NFL player. So a lot of my problem with it is a lot of them think they're going to be that. At least around in my area. I've had to deal with issues like that. The ones that can't possibly think that they even have a chance of failure. Which, I mean, is probably a mentality you've got to have to keep going and that stuff, especially when you get knocked down. But I just can't get behind it. I'm like really big into like the big softy football players. They're like my favorite people. They're so like interesting and funny. How a guy who could beat up all these dudes who's super big and burly can like be like super soft and kind. The gentle giant. The gentle giant is the football players I like to surround myself with. The cocky, arrogant, I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna do this and that, and I'm better than you. That's the mentality I'm not a fan of.
It's not an ordinary beast. I heard it was from one of the cult's failed experiments. Kills anyone that gets close. pumped it so full of the bliss drug, it'll make you hallucinate just being near it. I sent a team out to put it down, but they haven't come back. They're probably dead. I'd like you to finish the job. I gotta warn you, this critter is super dangerous and super unpredictable.
Those Cougars will stop the cult from coming back here.
Okay, Judge Cougar. Okay, so I've done a previous mission called Judge Moose.
Summer camp. Taking it back means one less place for the cult to make that bliss. Appreciate it, deputy.
Where I had to fight a fucking drugged up moose.
Don't spend too long
It was
on
like
this.
crazy boss fight, and the thing was like a demon moose. Like a version of every variant of creature in this game. It's just a drugged version. It's a boss, because that's kind of neat. I like that because in Far Cry 3 there was a big this legendary version of this, this and that, because there was like, my favorite one is the variant of the honey badger in the game, and it was like ridiculously strong. Like Far Cry 3, I don't know if honey badgers were in 4, but like the fact that they made honey badgers so like freaking difficult to kill and they did so much damage, like reminded me of that video, the honey badger didn't give a fuck, and I just loved that. The randomness in these games is kind of what brings people in, and like now that there's co-op, it just really just helps people. Like, oh hey, this is interesting to me. Me and my buddy can play it. And you can play these for hours. Like, I'm not even doing main story. I'm just doing side quests and slightly taking some areas, trying to get as many streams out of this. Kind of bleeding the game dry. On a streaming perspective, I'm gonna play it probably 2 times through with my buddies, and then 1 time through by myself. And as you can see, when I'm by myself, I kind of take it pretty slow, stealthily, kind of think my movements out.
My uncle told me he saw the
And
cold kicking the front door
a different playstyle. When I'm with my friends, we're crazy, just blow shit up.
I'm thinking those of us
And
that can
sometimes I
handle
like to piss them
ourselves
off.
gotta head over there.
Because it's just what you do. You know, friends like to tease each
You're
other.
the one who tried to arrest Joseph.
You know, and I kind of hope to get streams out where people start watching, get interested, and like get vocal in the chat, because I'd love to get like a big group of people who just feel like unified in the fact that they have a common interests or something, and they just all get along, and you could talk, and if like you don't have a place to go, and you've got something bad bothering you, hurting you, making you feel bad, you can vent to somebody and feel better.
Getting a better angle.
Come on. One thing I hate in this game is like, God, trying to take some of the vehicles is like a little harder, and I feel like the aim is just a little different. It's a little. I tried to adjust it, but there's like a thin margin at like a quarter of the way up it, and not because like the sensitivity just goes out of whack at just like a quarter of the way, but it's like smooth, but it's like hard and rough to just nuts and berserk, and I'm it just kind of pisses me off. It doesn't feel as fluid. If I looked at all my stuff in my inventory, I feel like I should look at this map.
Own it
Yes,
now.
I
Thanks for your...
guess I did. It's just normally it says it's safe to sell now, which is comforting. How much more do I need to get the suppressor for this baby? 1,725. Gotcha. No, I still the ARC. Wait, this is the one. Oh, feels like the same gun though. I think it is. It's just got the skin on it, but I wanted it to match this, so. Murica, fuck yeah. Let's see. I really need to go get Boomer. I feel like that should have been the first thing I did, but I kind of dicked around, so. I might end this first, what the fuck? Might go in my solo stream on that. I don't know. I wanted to take a new style with this solo stream because sometimes I feel like I only comment when I do things, and sometimes I feel like that's not like enough. I'm a big fan of Smitty, like I said, and he kind of goes on rants, but they're not like political or anything. He's just like talks about like, oh, him moving into a new house, oh this. So like sometimes I'll talk about my opinions on things, what I think of video games, how certain video games feel, how I like to play, why I do it the way I do. It's kind of pretty much a short summary of what I've talked about here recently. If I can get myself set up fairly decently on Twitch and figure out how to put my videos on YouTube so they're not lost forever.
My cousin
I might
said she overheard some cultists talking about
take
Dead Man's Mill. They
like
think the Cougars
a bigger
supplies behind the waterfall.
might once I get like a bigger audience and stuff and all that, I might take different approaches depending on what people want, and like once I get a more vocal chat, because right now I've got like 6 people that constantly watch me, and the one that watches me a bunch, at least in the beginning, does not talk in my chat at all. If he watches this stream, I hope he acknowledges this or anything. I greatly appreciate Electric Skateboard. He watched a lot of my original streams, like very first ones. I mean, I've only done like 20 plus. I've done quite a few, but I've had to delete a lot because like I've got like a semi-shitty mic, so sometimes my audio is bad in some videos. And like I had a previous video that like the first 10 minutes is super laggy, but I didn't want to delete it because I did like 2 hours worth of footage. So I just left it in, and maybe I'll edit it out eventually, but I don't know. I'm still figuring things out. Don't know how I want to handle it.
Making a move.
Nice one, shooter!
Man, this gun does a lot of damage. Wait. Oh. Thank Christ, I didn't want to get skunked again. I watched an IGN review of this game, and they've given a lot of praise purely just from the randomness of like the animals attacking people, like all the way everything's kind of handled, just the general feel of this game, and they greatly appreciated it outside Xbox and outside Extra, since they're like a coalition. I think it was Extra because it was Ellen and Luke. something like that. And they were talking about it, but he seemed to think that it wasn't as good as the previous games. This wasn't, but like something that really sold him over was the animals and like the fluffy and the petting and all that stuff, which Primal had. But like Primal, like I just didn't really get. I might do like a later thing of it once I start working this summer and get some extra cash. I'm thinking maybe buying it and doing the playthrough, because I never fully beat it, and I played it on my friend. My friend let me borrow it. And yeah, so I don't have the full all of it feel. Like I don't know what the full game was like, but I played a hefty portion of it, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't like Far Cry 3 good, or it didn't feel as good as this. It especially felt different since there were like no guns, and it was all like spears and stuff. Like it had a way of handling it that it worked, but it just felt so off. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of the fact that there were no guns. It was a big selling point, is just the stealth with the guns and stuff in these games. But like that game was handled completely differently, because was handled a completely different way. I keep saying that wrong. And I mean, it's not bad, and it gives you like a new way to handle a lot of scenarios, which you can appreciate. But I don't know. It just like games that sell me when they have melee or like melee weapons. Don't get me wrong, the weapons in that game are perfect for stealth. That game is just perfectly stealthy. I mean, you can go loud too, but in that game, I think it felt like you could get overpowered easily. So like you had to rely a lot on stealth and your animal friends. And in this, yeah, you can rely on a lot of stealth and your animal friends, but
Getting a better angle.
on that one, it was a much larger dependence, and it just felt like a completely different game. You play Far Cry to play Far Cry. The way it feels, the way it handles, there's just a certain way it does it that just feels so smooth. Even though it's slightly buggy and everything can get random and fucking funny, especially in this game. I feel like in this game the random events are just greatly increased. But I don't know. Just, it didn't win me over. I'm also like a big fan of Dark Souls, so when you have melee weapons, I kind of want a melee weapon where you're like beating someone up, like in Dark Souls, where it's hard, difficult, and skillful, or it's like Devil May Cry, where
No
it's
one's safe anymore. They torch anything to prove a point. Hell, they even burned down Port
like
Chad's
Devil May
restaurant.
Cry, which is super actiony
Hiding out in the woods.
and fluid,
Maybe we'll see if
but
we
not the
can help.
reboot. The reboot was not. I was not a fan of. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good, but it like spit on the name of Devil May Cry because they like constantly made fun of the first one with like Easter eggs and stuff and the white hair, and then like that. There was a scene in the beginning of that game where like in the original Devil May Cry, he has white hair. In all the Devil May Crys, he has white hair. So he gets it at the end of that, which is why some people say, oh, it's canon. It's not. It was a reboot. It was a reboot. But you could take that as like, that's probably what happened in between, and that could work for you. It's just, it pissed me off more than anything. Made me really upset. Because I love the original Devil May Crys. They were super good. But they were old, and they still, like, to this day, you can go back and play them, and they're fun. But, like, number two was kind of like
Now that you've got your wheels,
the
follow the
one
gravel road
that
off
just
island until you hit the Devil's Fork and see which way the wind takes you.
just
Best of
kind of
luck, deputy.
didn't do it for
I'll
me.
call when I've got some new info. Touch
Because
out.
it was Like, in a lot of the other ones, it's somewhat open, but there's like a path you have to take, but you can kind of mess around in the other ones. In this one, it was more like, eh. It was super linear, and then you had another character they introduced, but I didn't appreciate it. Didn't like her. She, like, don't get me wrong, it was still a good game. It's just I didn't like it anymore. What's up, Sammy? Good. I feel rested now. I was just like an hour off of my sleep schedule. Adam made you mad? You can tell me. Oh, is it that bad I can't have it on stream? Okay, fair enough. Like I say, I've already pretty much destroyed him on a stream. Okay, I'll mute it. He was talking shit on us in a stream. He constantly calls us names and ridicules us. I know he's not going to do it, but if he does, you got my back. But I never do anything bad on my streams. Hell, I never really talk shit on Adam till the last parts where he just started being a dick. Oh, fair. No, thanks for telling me that. I appreciate it. Yeah. That about him. A little bit funny. Yeah, Bryce has been on since like 2, which is weird. Did he not have school today? Oh, is that why you didn't think he had school there? Oh shit! Cheese dip for what? You weren't there very long. They got you your food fast for a bar and grill. Which one was it? It was the one that we went to, the bar and grill that... Wait, which one?
The new one. The,
The one that had the Philly cheesesteak that I sent you a picture of that me and Caden went to. Yeah, but they were like super expensive when I went. Everything was like $15. So they finally got their shit together? Damn. Oh my god, I can smell it, man. That smells phenomenal.
Ground beef and sausage.
Cheese, ground beef, and sauce. Wow. I'm gonna go get the dog. You gonna get Far Cry 5? I'll play it with you. Go for it. Your mom sent you money. Yeah, she might get mad at you if you spend it on games. Yeah, so you might want to check with that. I think I always like fucking undershoot where the dog is. I either undershoot or overshoot. I think it's this way. Oh, I just spin it all. I got the fucking Stars and Stripes assault rifle. And then I have the Stars and Stripes pistol.
Bro, you got this truck? Dude, this truck is so fucking fast.
I don't have any vehicles right now, Sammy. I just started.
I know, but go to the garage. I'll show you which one.
Okay. I'll have to save dog. The dog. I almost called him dog meat. No, you can shoot it. I know. Yeah, I think I have it unlocked. I just don't use it. Or a VIP, unless it's a stealth shot. The VIPs don't go down in one hit, which pisses me off. Maybe with the 50 cal they might, but it takes 2. Yeah, the VIPs are the only thing that pisses me off in this game, because you don't know which ones are VIPs unless they're marked. So like, you'll be killing these guys and just wrecking them. This VIP will come out of nowhere. Yeah, but like, Far Cry was like the first one to do that before Mafia 3 came out. But like, I think here's the garage. But no, I guess the first Mafia came out before all of this. Which one? Yeah, no, I want to get this one. It's a truck. Which one does Orlando have? Wait, did you just point at this one? This one's free. You don't buy it. Okay, yeah, this one you buy. This one I don't think you buy. Four-wheeler. Here's this. Yeah, you unlock these. You just have to do Clutch Nixon stunts. I think his mom has a lot of money. I don't know about his dad. Well, that would be with his mom, though. Oh, shit. I didn't know that. Get him. The fire rate for this gun is perfect. What the fuck? Sammy, I didn't mute myself. Okay. Well, I knew Orly back in high school. He was a good kid. It's your puppy whoopee. No one. That's just an AI. Dumb AI. See, look. Fuck you. Who? You can level up specific ones. What's he look like? This guy is probably this guy. I want you. I think you can get up to like 2 a piece, so 2 animals and 2 people, or just 2 animals. I can't remember. But if you can get the bear and the cougar at the same time, and it's just overpowered as fuck. No, it's just hard. I have to get a silencer. No, I just bought it, so I only was able to buy certain modifications. What the f... Did you just... I guess it did. Wait, I can repair it? This is so broken. Why don't I use my trucks? I don't have any. I don't have any money. I'm gonna get all the attachments for my guns before I start like investing in. The dog doesn't jump in the truck. The dog runs alongside you. Pretty sure I checked everything, but I'll go look in the house and look. I think you can have up to like, I think you can have up to, yeah, 4 weapons. But you gotta upgrade the ammo capacities because the ammo capacities are literal dog shit. He probably has all the, oh fuck. It's not a dog, Sammy. Does that look like a wolf? It's a fucking mountain lion. Do not tell this night. Oh fuck. It's going after the turkey. Turkey, no! Where's the turkey? You're mine. Fight me, bitch. Come on, fight me. The birds in these games are like super aggressive for some reason. They've always been in like all the previous ones, but like it's funny to see a turkey attack you after shooting it because in real life it would not fucking come get your ass. It would be like, gobble, gobble, fucking shit, flying in the sky. They can't actually fly very far, but they can get some lift off to them. Boomer returns. Yeah, I just got the dog. That's like the first thing you do in this game. I only have perks right now because I played with Juicy and Logan will be on later. He's at work right now. But yeah. I gotta do my meeting with... I think it's only up to 2. We can try 3, but I'm pretty sure it's only up to 2. It's only ever been 2 in the previous games. Unless you're on arcade mode. Well, I have... Any time this week I have to have a meeting with Margarita. And it's just to talk about the RA position. Like, some of us are supposedly in the red zone. Or whatever. Well, so we need to make sure we're doing everything right. And then she's going to have a talk and a sit down. She's done this like 3 times. We have like a little sit down and she goes over what you've done, accomplished, this and that, your events, your board. What? Yeah, Gabe did his earlier today, I think. That's why he was in there. Yeah. It's pretty much like if you do your job, she just like tells you, good job, maybe you might be lacking in this department, work on it. If you don't do your job, I'm pretty sure she's going to give you a long talk and you're not going to enjoy the conversation. You know, it's typical, like it'd be like your boss bringing you in for like your review. What? Who's terrible in football? Yeah, they're kind of nerve-wracking here because I feel like she accidentally... Oh my fucking grizzly bear. But, no, Margarita's a pretty good boss. She's not a bad person. She's just been busy lately. Like, super busy. She's, like, hardly here. Last year we had, like, multiple bosses. We had, like, 2 before Margarita completely took over. So... one of them was the lady downstairs, Robbie, and she used to make us food all the time, dude. She's like the sweetest. She's like the sweetest old lady. I used to call her grandma. I guess she doesn't see her grandkids very much, so like that was just. Oh man, my audio's popping. Hold on, unplugging.
They are a murderer and a coward, but God sees them, and God will guide us to them. They will be found, and they will be punished. This is the will of the Father.
He has an Xbox One now, right? Wait, but he has this game for Xbox One.
It's your attorney. Listen, I don't know where this John C. got.
But he has it for PlayStation?
But he's got us. He got you coming and going. At this rate, if you don't sell the orchard to John C., you're going to be out in your ass. This way you're going to keep your dignity, you know? I know it's a bitter pill to swallow, and it's going to feel like a loss. A theft, even. But at this point, with this guy, maybe you should just play it safe. Sorry again. And, you'll get my bill in the mail.
What the fuck? Guy doesn't have his mic put in yet. With Gabe? I think I might go have my meeting with Margarita to find out what's going on. Here shortly before I go to work till 8. So I'll have my meeting, I'll go eat, and then I'll go work in the library. In the fucking calf. We're gonna go after that. I'm just gonna get something to hold me over till then, because I only ate like 1 bowl of goulash that I made last night. It was super good. Wait, you get 1,000 V-Bucks for hitting tier 100? That's not... The new challenges? How many days are left? Yeah, but that's the glider I told you about. Yeah, it's got like a red streak. I just can't play Fortnite right now. I'll get back into it here soon. It's just... It just rubbed me the wrong way.
No.
I forgot you could get a slingshot in this. The recurve bow. I feel like this should be a better bow though. Compound? Wouldn't the recurve be the first one you get? I don't know. I don't like that. I'm gonna buy a vehicle, maybe. What? Open the armory inside Dutch's bunker. I need to go to a garage. I don't think you guys have.
I ain't never seen bears like this before.
See if I can go buy a vehicle, and then I'm probably gonna end my stream. I have my trusty doggo now. Dude, tractors in this game feel so badass when you drive them. You know, I've actually drove a tractor in real life. It's not as difficult as a lot of things portray it. Unless they're like the older models, then it's hard as fuck. The new ones are like super smooth, but the old ones are like hard as shit compared to the new ones. Oh my. Wait, they're hostages?
Over here. Come on, I need your...
Thank you.
Don't leave me like this. Thank you for saving me.
Okay, let's see if I can get a vehicle.
Gabe,
Is he still not
yeah, I
talking?
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Then it's probably on his end.
Gabe! You hear me, bitch?
Can you hear me, bitch? Wow. What a guy. What a card. Dude, Tally's cool, isn't she? I told you she was. Is she not just as good as Carlos? If a little bit. Did you play? Were you playing with her when she was joking around or when she was serious? Yeah, I guess you're right. But I mean, like, she's up there on the level, near level. Anyway, I'm gonna end this stream.
Okay, can you